I don't know if you guys have ever told your parents to stop listening to everything that they see on Facebook, but it's about time you guys stop listening to everything that you see on TikTok, because social media is infested with thousands and thousands of online gurus taking advantage of people like you and me that want to make money. And especially on the gambling side of TikTok or sports betting, there are so many people that claim to have the best sports betting strategy, or this sports betting strategy will make you a ton of money. And these gurus or these influencers are often telling you that they're making $20,000 a month, or they're making over $1 million from sports betting, when in reality, they're probably just like you and unprofitable, and they just want you to buy their Discord or their course. So in reality, you are their source of income, not sports betting. So in this video, what we're gonna be doing is heading over to that gambling side of TikTok and Instagram Reels and debunking all of these sports betting strategies and kind of almost exposing what works and what doesn't, in hopes that you watching this video can go and be a profitable sports bettor. If you don't know who I am, my name is Troy Cooks, or Jacob. I make $20,000 a month from sports betting, but I use math and actual profitable sports betting strategies to make my money. So without further ado, let's get into this first clip. All right, guys, before we do hop into this video, quick PSA. I'm not at my home setup right now because I flew out to Michigan to surprise my mom for her birthday. So if you're watching this, leave a happy birthday in the comments. That'd be greatly appreciated. And also, I apologize if my audio and video quality aren't up to par as it usually is. But with that being said, let's get straight into the video. All right, guys, let's go over the first video and clip here that we have. This guy claims that he made $30,000 using this strategy. Or, I'm sorry, $50,000. Let's see if he's full of it or if he actually knows what he's talking about.
Here's how you can make your first $2,000 from sports betting, or maybe even your first $50,000 from sports betting. As a beginner sports bettor, you need to understand that most people are not actually good sports bettors, and most handicappers you see online are just handicappers. They are not professionals. So you need to be very careful who you listen to and make sure whoever you're listening to tracks all the results, shows testimonials, and actually bets big slips. It's 2024, you shouldn't be telling people who don't do this full time and are betting only $100 a play. The skill that helped me make my first $2,000 and then first $50,000 through sports betting was understanding how to beat closing lines as a sports bettor. Meaning I had to understand how Vegas was setting betting lines, how they start moving and why they move, and then be able to find spots where I know a bet is undervalued and then lock it in before the line moves. I've hit it 65% over the past week using this strategy, and that's not even including last Saturday where I had an 8-0 clean sweep, going up 13 units, making myself $36,000, actually $39,000 in a single day.
Okay, so starting off kind of strong here, this guy is using a strategy called positive EV, where he's mentioning he's using closing line value and trying to beat it, right? Looking for mispriced odds within the market. And this strategy, whether you want to call it, positive EV, plus EV, line shopping, odd shopping, it's all relatively tying back to the same strategy, right? Where we're understanding how Vegas is placing and, making these odds and these prices, setting these lines at the most exact point possible. They're factoring all of these things. Every single thing that you can think of that you're using to, research your sports bets are already factored into these prices, right? So injuries, matchups, back-to-backs, home games, away games, everything is already factored into whatever the odd for that specific line is. So let's say, for example, we have Stephen Curry's over 24.5 points at -120. That -120 is set at -120 for a reason, and it's set at 24.5 or whatever line I just said for a specific reason, right? Vegas isn't stupid. A lot of people are in the negative or not profitable from sports betting because they think that they can outsmart Vegas using their own research, right? When Vegas is a billion-dollar industry and they're pouring millions of dollars into each one of these player lines and research to set these lines at the most exact point possible. So this guy is basically saying that he's using a strategy to play value and play an advantage over Vegas's already super highly researched lines. So for example, if we have that same Stephen Curry prop 24.5 at -120 across all major sports books, and then let's say, for example, DraftKings is offering it at +100, so at plus money, even odds, instead of that -120. So we would only need to bet $100 to make $100 back in profit in regards to that -120, where we would have to bet $120 to make back $100. So by playing that edge, by playing that prop on DraftKings instead of the other sports books, right, it is the same line, but we're getting it at a better price. We're getting it at a discount. So similarly to the sports betting strategy this guy's talking about, beating closing line value, and he says, obviously, that he made, an 8-0 sweep and made $30,000 in a day or a week or whatever he said. That part can be a little bit misleading because of something called variance. Using a strategy like positive EV, there's, variance where we can either have a super good run or a super bad run, but overall evening out at the end of the day, we're going to be profitable in the long term. So that's kind of what this strategy is. Positive EV in a nutshell is betting on better odds or, discounts within the market, finding mispriced odds. And when you're betting with that value over Vegas, you're playing with an advantage over them. Because normally, if you were to bet, that average or true odds price or across the market, we're playing with a disadvantage because Vegas is always playing us with a disadvantage. So why not play with an advantage over Vegas when we have the chance with a mathematical edge to actually win and beat them? So yeah, this is a very great and solid strategy to start off. I'm pretty happy with this first clip that we're starting off with here. It's great. If you want to start incorporating positive EV into your daily betting strategies, I would recommend a tool like OddsJam. OddsJam basically scans the entire market of the millions of different sports books in your area, whatever you have available, and shows you every time there's profit or profitable opportunities, value within the market, points out, all of these different value data-driven bets that you can take and place on your own time, these positive EV bets. So if this strategy is something that you want to incorporate, I would definitely give them a try. You can use code JC15, JC15 for 15% off your checkout, and I believe they are offering a 7-day free trial as well. All right, guys, so I am actually pretty satisfied with that first clip. He knew what he was talking about. He has a very reliable, profitable sports betting strategy, beating CLV, positive EV, all of this good stuff, right? Finding value within the market. That is something that I actively do, and a bunch of other profitable sports bettors actually use in their sports betting routines to make a bunch of money from sports betting. I believe positive EV is actually the most profitable sports betting strategy that you can possibly incorporate into your daily betting routines. Moving on to the second clip, let's see if this guy knows what he's talking about like the first guy.
This is a live strategy that I use in the NBA to make consistent profits. So what I'll do is I'll look at a game that the opening spread is -3 or less, and I will take the underdog on the money line. Now, the NBA game is just a bunch of runs. So take the plus money to start, and then once that team goes on a run, then you want to take the plus money on the other side.
No,
so
no.
Plus money, and just like that, you'll have guaranteed winning.
No. This guy, do not follow what this guy just said. He's basically saying that you want to bet the money line on one team and then just hope and pray that the underdog goes on a run so that you could hedge the bet and make guaranteed profits. What this guy is trying to do is something called arbitrage sports betting. Now, that's basically what my entire Instagram and TikTok page is about, arbitrage, where we're hedging and betting on all outcomes, all possible outcomes of a single event. That's basically what this guy is trying to do, except he's making it 20 times harder on himself, right? This guy is basically saying that in order to have risk-free profit, you need to kind of be lucky and hope that the underdog team goes on a run so that you can possibly come out with a risk-free profit. Do not listen to this advice. This is horrible. You're gonna lose a lot of money if you rely on this and try to incorporate this into your sports betting, right? An easy way to look at this is if you go to the OddsJam software and actually use the arbitrage calculator. These guys basically, like I said before, scan the entire market of all the sports books because it would be impossible to do this with the human eye. So it basically just tells you every time an arbitrage opportunity is possible, tells you what to bet on, tells you how much to bet, and you're basically good to go from there. But yeah, don't listen to what this guy just said. You're gonna lose a lot of money from doing that. If you actually want to start making risk-free, consistent profits, arbitrage betting is great. That is also one of the main strategies that I use along with multiple sports bettors doing $20,000, $30,000 months. Arbitrage sports betting is great, risk-free profit, keeps you from stressing on these games, right? Sitting there watching the game, stressing these parlays, worrying about whether a player is gonna go over, under, and cash you. Arbitrage betting is definitely something you should look into because obviously, like I just said, I can't stress it enough, it's risk-free and a huge profit opportunity for sports bettors trying to become smarter or stop losing money, right? So that's a second clip. Long story short, don't listen to this guy. Try arbitrage betting the real way. All right, so we've gone through 2 clips so far, 2 of these TikTok guru sports bettors advices. One was good, one was bad. Let's see what this third one is about, and let's see if we can wrap this video up with a solid piece of advice.
To be a long-term profitable sports bettor, there's one thing you need to know. There's more people sports betting now than ever before, and if you're just getting into it, it can be a lot. Bankroll management is the #1 thing you need to learn if you're gonna be a successful sports bettor. So your first question might be, what is a bankroll? A bankroll is amount of money that you set aside that you're okay with gambling, and if you lost all of it, you would be okay. You don't gamble with money you pay your bills with. Once you establish your bankroll, say you have $500 that you're gonna set aside to gamble. Now you pretty much have your unit established. You may have heard this if you're new to sports betting. I'm betting 1 unit on this. I'm betting a half a unit on this. I'm betting 10 unit mega max whale. A unit is normally 1 to 5% of your bankroll. If you have $500 in your bankroll, I would say your unit should be around $10. No one is going to win 100% of their bets. That's why you have to have a bankroll. That's why you have to have units to be successful.
Okay, I like this tip a lot, but what this guy is saying is that this is the #1 rule in sports betting. Now, when it comes to sports betting, you aren't going to be profitable unless you actually are incorporating profitable betting strategies. Now, bankroll management is great. Everybody should be using bankroll management, but I wouldn't say it is the #1 rule when it comes to sports betting, right? So bankroll management, basically covering what this guy said, is it should be anywhere from 1 to 5% of your bankroll. And he said, obviously, bankroll should be money that you would be okay with losing if you had to lose it. So I wouldn't go out taking any loans. I wouldn't go out, gambling your rent on sports, right? That's just stupid. But bankroll management is definitely a key to being a profitable sports bettor. Now, this bankroll, this whole 1 to 5% thing isn't just some random made up percentage that, would automatically make you profitable. There's something called the Kelly criteria, and I'll leave the formula on the screen right here. But basically what this is, it's a mathematical formula that tells you how much you should be betting on each bet from your bankroll in order to actually be a consistent, profitable sports bettor and mitigate risk when you are betting each ticket or each slip or whatever. So when it comes to things like positive EV, right? Like I said in the last clip, it's a long-term game. So if you're betting, let's say your unit size is $10, you're betting $10 each ticket, and you're constantly profiting, you're doing pretty well. Let's say you make $100 within your first month from positive EV sports betting, right? At $10 unit size. Then you want to mess around and up your unit size to $100 because you get cocky, you get confident, you're winning a couple bets here and there. And then that $100 flip loses. An entire month's worth of profit is gone because you got greedy and you had terrible bankroll management. So that's why unit sizing and bankroll management is important, and that you use the Kelly criterion formula to actually understand what your unit size should be, how much bankroll you need. Obviously, that's something you can determine on your own, but obviously you don't have to go and calculate this by hand. You can use the OddJam software. They have a tool that does it all for you. So it's great, it's easy there. But bankroll management is definitely not the #1 rule when it comes to sports betting. Yes, it's important, but there's also other strategies that don't really require too much of unit sizes and bankroll management. For example, like arbitrage sports betting, it's risk-free profit. You don't necessarily have to stick to a certain unit size. You could put however much you want, because at the end of the day, both sides of the bet are going to hit and you're going to come out with a risk-free profit. So unit sizing, bankroll management, long story short, yes, great strategy. Love what this guy just said in the video, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it is the #1 sports betting rule or sports betting advice to incorporate, because earlier, like I said, if you're not incorporating sharp mathematical sports betting strategies that are proven to keep you in the profit, you're not going to have any luck with bankroll management. Like if you're part of the 97% already losing money sports betting, you're doing research this, doing research that, following another person's Discord. You basically are saying you think you're smarter than Vegas, and you're just going to lose money anyway. You could manage your bankroll. You could put however much you want on each slip. You could put $5 on each slip. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're going to lose your money. So if you're not already incorporating some of these strategies that I mentioned earlier or in some of these other videos on this channel, you don't even have to think about bankroll management, because you're just going to lose money anyway. So long story short, if you want to be a profitable sports bettor, I would incorporate profitable sports betting strategies, one, and then also unit management. So do your own research on that. But yeah, I love what this guy is saying, and I would definitely incorporate it as well as other profitable sports betting strategies. All right, guys, and with that being said, that third clip is going to wrap up this reaction video. If you want me to react to some of your favorite handicappers' advices or tips or whatever they're giving you on their Discords or their social medias, send it to me to my Instagram at TroyCooks, and I'll make sure to try to include it in the next video. This was a ton of fun to make, and I do want to start making this a normal everyday series. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and support this channel by leaving a like, comment what you think, and subscribe, turn those notification bells on. That being said, I hope you guys can be part of that 3% of people that are actually profiting from sports betting. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.